Welcome to the next installment of the BackPack Hanger series. We started out the entire series by building a quick mock-up out of a 2x4 to hold my backpack, then a quick sketch and a mat board mock-up to visualize things in the folded sheet metal style. This video, CAD and 3D printing that bad boy. My name is Eric Strebel. I'm an industrial designer. Welcome to my channel about product design and making. I hope that you like, enjoy, and become a subscriber. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, and then you hit the bell again, so you get the little parentheses around it. That way you'll be notified every time I have a new video. Don't forget to check out the design and making merch just below the video on the shelf. T-shirts, hoodies, stickers, leggings, and phone cases. In the previous video, where I built a mat board mock-up of the backpack hanger, that was incredibly well received. Tons of views, great comments and feedback, which is what I was looking for. So we're going to take some of those ideas from your feedback and incorporate it into the actual build here. I'm going to start building it in CAD using Fusion 360, and we're just going to start with the basics to lay out the back plate and go from there. Now, I don't want this video to be like a CAD tutorial. I'm no CAD master. You want to learn from the master, you go see Klaus Kunin. Okay, yeah, link right above here. And let's start out. Extrude out this plate. Peanut Gallery is awfully active here on the CAD channel today, of course. Just my luck. Let's add a little bit of color. Oh, I mean, really, guys, come on. Is that necessary? So we're going to extrude out the sides. And we're using all the dimensions from before. Oh, I guess a little bit much, it's not that amazing, really. It's just CAD, anybody can kind of do it. Now that the basic proportions are laid in, which we learned from making the mat board mock-up and the initial 2x4 one, what looks good, what we like, we're going to add a few of the details, and that's really what's going to make this thing the actual product. So I'm working on the back flange here, and you may wonder, why go to all this extent? Once that is resting on the back support surface where the unit is actually mounted to on the wall, will give the piece a fair amount of additional rigidity and strength. It will really resist a lot of the forces that are hanging on this unit and give it some nice additional structural benefits. There's a total of 4 screw hole mounting points on this thing, so the 2 in the middle allow you to mount it to a single stud without rotating. The right and the left ones are for something else, maybe like mounting it on a desk or something like that. Wow! Yeah. The bottom one here is to prevent the unit from twisting around, and I'm able to turn that into a nice little detail, actually, which I'm super happy about. I do have this one little twisted piece, so I'll have to get worked out later on. Let's go ahead and add in the side details, the part where you would actually hang the backpack on this unit and the cell phone horizontal mounting point. It's pretty straightforward here. We're basically just doing a sketch of the cutout that we want, and then we're going to sweep that through. We're going to do about 9 millimeters here for the cell phone. That should be big enough for most modern cell phones, even ones with a case on them, I hope. So pretty straightforward. Really starting to make good progress here on the piece. So let's add some of the other details. Here we're going to put in the countersink for the screw holes. I believe 82 degrees or something like that is the standard taper for a screw. So I've created a little sketch you can see here in the top right, and I actually did this sketch before I even started CAD. So it's something that I did after I built the mat board mock-up, and it shows where I want to put the keyring holders and the stops for a cell phone in the vertical position. So we'll drop in those openings. Pretty pretty sweet. So we'll punch out those openings and we'll add in the flanges for the vertical hold on the cell phone, and then we'll start building the little flanges for the key hooks as well. And I got some great suggestions for the key hooks to move them away from the front where you would grab the backpack and move them back into the back. And I think that's turning out to be a really nice suggestion. And we're going to just turn it up here just a tiny little bit so that the, thank you, keys don't fall off. And now it's time to add in the details. So it's really just radius stuff. I'm not going to talk too much about how to do that. That's pretty straightforward fillet stuff. This is where I need everybody's help. I am in the Detroit area and I need to make a prototype of this. If you have a shop or you know somebody that has a shop that could water jet this piece and bend it for me, I would definitely want to make a prototype. I'm going to look locally myself, but if you have the capabilities, even if you're not in Detroit, ultimately I'd like to do about 100 units of these on a Kickstarter. Hopefully with all the subscribers' support, that'll be a really easy thing to knock out and accomplish. So right now I'm looking for a fab shop that has both capabilities to water jet, cut this thing out, bend it up, possibly even finish it, or has a connection with a supplier. I ultimately would like to go to a one-stop shopping place that I can work with to get the prototype made and then do the production run of 100 units, something like that, and then sell them to you guys either through Kickstarter or what have you not. So that's what I'm looking for. You know anybody, leave it in the comments below. They're going to get some press, and it's going to make a really great video. Hopefully you're not too far away and I can even visit, and we can work this thing out together. I think it'll be a really great collaboration. Even if you don't have a YouTube channel, be just good for your business or your buddy's business, who knows. One of the other great uses for this hanger that was suggested by some of the subscribers is for headphones. So they could be used in a studio environment for holding your headphones and then charging them at nighttime. The hangers on the bottom, where I originally envisioned them to be for like a key hook or a key ring, could easily hold your cables. You'll also notice that there's a slot down the middle of this unit that would allow you to plug in your cell phone and then drop it in there vertically while it's charging up. So that slot is intentional, as well as the way that sheet metal actually folds. Here's a rendering straight out of Fusion 360 of what the final unit is going to look like. I'm pretty happy with that. So we need to get on to printing this thing. I took the data right out of Fusion and brought it into Cura and sliced it up, sent it over here to the Ultimaker. We're using a 0.6 nozzle. Build time is 9 hours and 15 minutes, something like that, with 0.08 layer height. This is as good a time as any to let everybody know that I do offer a 3D printing service. You can head to the Botzen website, link below. You just need an STL file. I ship the lower 48. Everything's handled through PayPal. Take that off the build plate after it's done. Hey, if anybody knows why my Ultimaker pulls strings like that, let me know. I think it's the humidity, but really not really sure. So we'll clean it up here. I just use some nippers when I clean up my prototypes, and I mainly make 3D prints like this for visual purposes, checking out concepts and ideas. I call this kind of a low res visualization tool. Certainly not something I would use for mastering a part for casting silicone pieces or anything like that, but for this it's not bad. You can really see how things are going to work and come together. And actually the part is relatively structural. It's pretty strong, and I'm able to test things out, and absolutely a great way to continue visualizing your project. I would never do one of these things first unless I just had no time without building some sort of a mock-up first. think what I learned from the mock-up and the feedback that I got from you guys has been invaluable. And in the time that it printed, you know, man, I could have made a couple cardboard mock-ups. But at this point, it's got to go to CAD at some point so it can be manufactured. And this is the time to do it. And I think a lot of stuff was learned from the cardboard mock-up to get to this point, to move things around, make things adjusted, and it was well worth it. All right, again, I can't stress enough, thanks for all the feedback that everybody gave to the previous video to help me with some design suggestions and adjustments. I really appreciate that. I think it was very helpful, and the design benefited tremendously. Again, looking for somebody to fab up this thing in a prototype and work with me to finish working out the final production detail pieces. Yeah, all right. Let's mount this thing on a wall and check it out. So you can see how much strength you get here on the piece by those flanges at the bottom pressing against the support. Key rings work pretty good. This is my backpack. It's probably got 20 pounds in it, 30 pounds in it. It's actually pretty strong, the piece is, and there you can see the cell phone goes in horizontally and vertically. The whole piece is pretty strong. I'm pretty happy with the way it's come out. I'm really looking forward to making a prototype out of metal, hopefully aluminum. This is an 1/8 inch thick material. Stay tuned.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can do that by clicking on the icon in the bottom right of the video or below the video. Give it a thumbs up and follow the channel there as well. You want to know about upcoming design content and projects that I'm working on? Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and my favorite Google+, links below. Also, don't forget to check out all the design and making gear below.
Rock on.
Click here to check out some of the other design and making videos that I have that you might enjoy.